Welcome to the Dark World channel. Today, we embark on a gripping journey into one of the most notorious and perplexing cases that shook the true crime community. The tale of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was born on July 27, 1991, in Louisiana, USA. She was raised by her mother, D. Blanchard, who portrayed Gypsy as severely ill and disabled from a young age. Gypsy was allegedly diagnosed with a variety of medical conditions, including muscular dystrophy, leukemia, asthma, and mental disabilities. D. Blanchard, Gypsy Rose's mother, created an extensive and fabricated medical history for her daughter, leading people to believe that Gypsy suffered from a variety of severe health issues. Some of the fabricated conditions and medical interventions include leukemia. D. claimed that Gypsy had leukemia, a type of cancer affecting the blood and bone marrow. Gypsy was subjected to unnecessary treatments, including chemotherapy, for a condition she did not have, muscular dystrophy. Gypsy was presented as having muscular dystrophy, a group of genetic disorders leading to progressive muscle degeneration and weakness. As a result, Gypsy was confined to a wheelchair even though she could walk. Seizures. D. reported that Gypsy suffered from seizures and epilepsy. Gypsy was prescribed anti-seizure medications, despite not experiencing genuine seizures. Mental disabilities. Gypsy was portrayed as having intellectual disabilities, with her mental capacity allegedly that of a young child. D. claimed Gypsy had the mental age of a 7-year-old. Wheelchair use. D. insisted that Gypsy needed a wheelchair for mobility due to her supposed muscular dystrophy. Gypsy was photographed and seen in public using a wheelchair, even though she could walk normally. Gastrointestinal issues. D. reported that Gypsy had various gastrointestinal issues, including difficulty swallowing and requiring a feeding tube. Gypsy underwent unnecessary surgeries, such as a procedure to insert a feeding tube into her stomach. Allergies. Gypsy was said to have severe allergies to various foods and environmental factors. D. claimed that Gypsy required a strict diet and limited exposure to certain elements. Gypsy Rose Blanchard came to realize that she was not as medically compromised as her mother, D. Blanchard, had led her to believe through a combination of factors, including her own observations, interactions with medical professionals, and the use of online resources. As Gypsy Rose grew older, she began to question the validity of her medical conditions and the necessity of the treatments and interventions imposed upon her by D. Gypsy observed that she did not experience the symptoms she was told she had, such as difficulty walking, seizures, and other severe health issues. Gypsy had numerous encounters with healthcare professionals over the years due to her supposed medical conditions. Some medical professionals started to express doubt about the consistency of her symptoms and the need for certain treatments. Discrepancies in medical records and diagnoses from different healthcare providers contributed to Gypsy's growing awareness of the deception. Despite being restricted by DAD, Gypsy secretly gained access to the internet and social media. Through online communities and platforms, Gypsy connected with individuals who were not aware of her situation and began learning about the outside world. This exposure allowed her to compare her own experiences with those of others and question the accuracy of her medical history. In 2015, an anonymous tip was sent to the authorities expressing concerns about Gypsy's well-being. Law enforcement conducted a welfare check, and during the investigation, they discovered that Gypsy could walk and did not have the medical conditions claimed by D. In summary, Gypsy Rose's realization that she was healthier than her mother claimed was a gradual process fueled by personal observations, interactions with medical professionals, access to online resources, and the unfolding events of the police investigation and legal proceedings. The murder plot involving Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her boyfriend Nicholas Gaudejon unfolded in June 2015 and was a shocking and tragic turn of events. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Nicholas Gaudejon met online and formed a romantic relationship. Gypsy confided in Gaudejon about the abusive and manipulative relationship with her mother, D. Gypsy expressed a strong desire to escape her mother's control and live a life of her own. The couple believed that the only way for Gypsy to achieve freedom was to eliminate the perceived threat posed by D. Gypsy and Gaudejon began planning the murder, discussing various methods and scenarios. The plan included Gaudejon traveling to Springfield, Missouri, where Gypsy and D. lived, to carry out the act. Gaujon purchased a knife in Springfield, which would later be used in the commission of the crime. The choice of a knife as the murder weapon reflected the violent and brutal nature of the act. On the night of June 10, 2015, Gaujon entered the Blanchard residence, where Gypsy and Dee were living. Gaujon located Dee in her bedroom, and a violent altercation ensued. Gaujon fatally stabbed Dee multiple times while Gypsy hid in another room. After the murder, Gaujon and Gypsy fled the scene together. The couple left for Wisconsin, where they believed they could start a new life away from the scrutiny of Gypsy's past. Concerns about Dee Blanchard's well-being were raised when a disturbing message was posted on Dee's Facebook account, suggesting that something was wrong. Friends and neighbors, alarmed by the message, contacted local authorities to request a welfare check at the Blanchard residence. Law enforcement officers conducted a welfare check at the Blanchard residence in Springfield, Missouri. Upon entering the residence, they discovered the lifeless body of Dee Blanchard in her bedroom. The crime scene investigation revealed signs of a violent struggle and multiple stab wounds. The initial investigation led law enforcement to identify Gypsy Rose Blanchard as the daughter of the victim. Gypsy was nowhere to be found at the crime scene, prompting concerns for her safety. Authorities initiated a search for Gypsy Rose and her boyfriend, Nicholas Gaujon, as they were both considered suspects. Through various investigative methods, including tracking their online activities and communications, law enforcement located the couple in Wisconsin. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Nicholas Gaujon were apprehended by authorities in Big Bend, Wisconsin, on June 14, 2015. The couple was taken into custody without incident. Following their arrest, Gypsy Rose confessed to her role in planning the murder and provided details about the abusive relationship with her mother. Both Gypsy and Gaujon faced legal consequences. Gypsy pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Gaujon faced charges related to the homicide and underwent separate legal proceedings. The arrest of Gypsy Rose and Nicholas Gaujon marked the beginning of a legal process that would shed light on the disturbing dynamics within the Blanchard family and the extreme measures taken by Gypsy to escape from her mother's control. The case gained widespread media attention and highlighted the complexities of caregiver abuse and its psychological impact on victims. What happened to the Nicholas Gaujon, the boyfriend of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and the person who carried out the murder of Gypsy's mother, Dee Blanchard, faced legal consequences for his role in the crime. After their arrest in Wisconsin in June 2015, Gaujon was charged with first-degree murder. He underwent legal proceedings separate from Gypsy Rose Blanchard. The case went to trial, and in November 2018, Nicholas Gaujon was found guilty of first-degree murder. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, the child abuse victim who was convicted of killing her mother, has been released from prison, starting 2024 as a free woman. Blanchard, 32 years old, was released from the Chillicothe Correctional Center in Chillicothe, Missouri, on December 28. A spokesperson for the Missouri Department of Corrections said, 3 years before her original release date. On December 29, Blanchard shared her first post to Instagram since her release the day before, a mirror photo that appears to be taken at a place she's residing. "First selfie of freedom," she captioned the picture. That same day, Blanchard was photographed in public for the first time since her release. She appeared to be shopping with her husband, Ryan Scott Anderson, 37 years old, whom she reportedly married in 2022 while in prison. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the harrowing and complex story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Her life, marked by manipulation, abuse, and ultimately tragedy, continues to captivate audiences worldwide. Remember, these stories are not just about the crimes themselves, but the lessons we can glean from them. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and take care.